Hi there, welcome to your practice. So this is a yin and flow practice, and we're going to start with a laying down meditation. So I'm going to stay seated just so you can hear me a little bit easier, and then I'll join you once we move into some poses laying down. So you might like to put a blanket underneath your head as you lay down and have a bolster nearby you for a pose that we'll do later. You might also like to have one block nearby for a different pose. So as you're getting settled in, you might like to start with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and just rock your knees a little bit side to side, releasing the low back. If your low back feels a little bit tweaked or there's some discomfort there, you might step your feet a little bit closer to your hips. Press your feet down, lift your hips up. Bring your hands to the back of the hips and just move the skin down towards the feet as you lightly tuck your tailbone and then set your hips back down. From here, you can extend the legs if that's comfortable for you. And since you have your bolster nearby, you could always slide that underneath the knees to give a little bit more support for the low back. Just taking a little more time here to settle yourself in. And then once you've done that, you can start to turn your attention to where your body is in contact with the mat, the floor, whatever you're lying on. Just taking some time here to get curious about what you're feeling. So sometimes you feel a little bit more in contact on one side of your body than another. Or you might find as you move your attention through your body, oh, there's something else I want to shift here to be more comfortable. So just starting to land and get present in your body. Expanding your awareness through your whole body here, feeling the whole back of the body in contact with whatever it's in contact with. And then turning your attention outward a bit for a moment, moving to the sensation of hearing, picking up any sounds you hear in addition to my voice in the room. And expanding your attention a little bit more, just sensing where you are in the room. So getting a sense of yourself in space here. And then we're going to move from that outward perceiving exteroception, that sense of yourself in space, proprioception, into an inquiry inside the body, which is interoception. And we're going to begin here with the breath. So just noticing the pace of your own breath here. There's nothing to change. And you might notice some differences between the length of your inhale and exhale. Sometimes you might notice a slight pause at the top of the inhale or the bottom of the exhale. That little built-in break that exists in our breath. And then as you go along with this, you can start to just add a little bit of length to each breath. slowly working your way toward a full deep breath. Just taking your time here. When you arrive at that deep breath, take 5 more. You might like to just breathe in through the nostrils and breathe out through the mouth, sounding the exhale to help cue the body to relax. After your 5th exhale, whenever that comes, you can let your breath return to its own pace and turn your attention even more inside. See if you can pick up any other movements within the body. So you might feel the beating of your own heart, some subtle currents of energy flowing through the body. Again, just being curious about what presents itself for your attention. And if you're not sure or you don't notice anything, that's okay. So just for a moment, we'll bring these together. So sensing through the whole body from the inside. Then sensing outward, locating yourself in the room. Knowing that you can have this sense of wholeness while still being part of what is around you. We're going to bring this quality of attention and intention into our practice. So you can stay where you are, laying down. If you had placed a bolster underneath your knees, just gently move it out to the side, set it beside you. We'll use it a little bit later. And you want to have a little bit of space above your head. So if you can reach your arms overhead and just kind of bring your hands right above your head, you have enough space for what we're going to do next. If not, you might just scoot a little bit and adjust. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down. What we're going to be doing is making essentially a C shape with the body on one side. I like to have my head on a blanket for this, or a pillow, whatever you have, legs extended. So we're going to start to make this C shape on the left side of the body. So how we'll do that is if you have a blanket under your head, you can bring your hands to the blanket. You're going to begin to pick up the upper body, move it over to the right. So I like to move my head and then move my shoulders. So you're going to come around as far as feels okay for you. You want to start to feel some stretch sensation on the left side of the body, but not something really uncomfortable because we're going to stay here for a little while. So we'll just start here with the arms by the sides. Now, if you feel you could have a little bit more stretch on the left side of the body, you can start to walk your feet and legs over a bit to the right. So this begins to make that C shape even more. And if you start to feel a little tweak in the low back or anything uncomfortable, just slide your feet back over a bit until you find a place you can hold. This is the beginning of our yin poses. And in yin, we never want to start at our edge because as we hold, the body will open and allow us to go a bit further. So just letting yourself breathe at your own pace here. If you'd like, now is when you could reach the arms overhead, just kind of boxing the elbows overhead, grasping maybe the fingers or just letting the hands rest above the head. If you'd like to, you can play with breathing deeply, especially into kind of the middle ribs, and that can help to increase this pose even more. Now, as you hold, sometimes you find a little bit more space. So if that's the case, you can move the upper body and or the lower body over a little more. We'll hold here a little while longer. Anytime your attention wanders, you might like to bring it back to an intention. So this is a wonderful time to set an intention for your practice. It could be a way you want to feel, a way you want to show up, something you want to cultivate. I usually like to choose a word or a phrase, just something simple. And then whenever your attention wanders, as it always does, I like to just bring it back to that intention by repeating the word to myself silently. Let's take one more breath here. And then you're going to slowly bring yourself back to center. Once you feel resituated in the center, bring your arms back down by your sides if you have them overhead. Just take a breath here. And you might sense into the body and see if you feel any differences side to side, since we've only done one side so far. And now we're going to go to the other side. So begin to first take the upper body over to the left. Giving yourself the same care here to see where is good for you, because it might be different than it was on the first side. Again, just settling in here first. And then you have the option to add on walking the legs over a little bit to the left. Again, if you start to feel any strain or tension, bring the legs back a smidge until you find a comfortable place where you can stay. If you want to, you can add on the arms overhead. Bringing your attention gently back to your breath, your intention, bodily sensation, whatever helps you to come back to yourself. If you found any space, you could move upper body and or lower body over a little bit more. And if you tried that and it didn't work for you, just go back to where you were. Let's take one more deep breath here. And then we'll slowly start to come back to center. So again, giving yourself the time to settle in here. Arms can come back down. You might want to bend the knees, rock the feet a little bit side to side. Maybe do that little tuck of the tailbone again because the legs have probably moved. And you can keep the knees bent. You're going to bring the top of a bolster near your hip. So the bolster is laying outside the hip, kind of alongside the legs. You can have a block nearby in case you want to use it in a minute. So just bring your bolster to your right side if it's not there already. You're going to scoot your hips a little bit to the left. So just press down through your feet, scoot the hips left, just an inch or two. It's just going to help to encourage the twist by doing that. So now extend your right leg to the floor. Pick your left leg up. You're going to take it over. You can roll onto the right hip and move that bolster down until you can bring a foot to the bolster. Now, if it's not comfortable for you to have an extended leg, you could also bring a bent knee to the bolster. And here's this block. If that doesn't come down, you can slide the block under the knee on any height. And where you can hold, arms rest wherever feels good. They could even rest on the body. Again, we're not trying to start as far as you can possibly go with strain. You want to start at a place where you can comfortably hold to allow the body to start to open, and then over time you might be able to change the support. So as you hold here, you might find, I feel like I have a little more space. And you could dial down support, move it. All of yoga is really a conversation with the body, but it's particularly apparent in a yin practice because of the longer holds. You can close the eyes here if they're not already, if that feels comfortable for you. Doing a little check-in here with your breath and your body. Let's take one more breath here. And then you'll slowly make your way back to center. So scoot your hips back to center once you get there. Then grab your bolster, move it to the other side. Have your block within your reach. Even if you didn't use it on the first side, it's possible you might want it on the second side. So again, that bolster is kind of alongside the legs, top of it is near the hip. And now you're going to scoot your hips in the opposite direction. So scoot the hips a little bit to the right. Extend the left leg down. Reach your right leg up and over to the bolster. Moving it to wherever is good for you. And again, you can have an extended leg, a bent knee. You can have the block under the leg or the knee. Just seeing what works for you on this side. So I needed something different on this side. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Returning to the breath as you settle in. Checking in with the body to see what, if anything, has changed. And if you find something to respond to, you can shift your position in some way. Let's take one more breath here. And if you're already partially on your side, you could just bring your top leg back, roll fully onto the side. Take a couple breaths here. And then when you're ready, keep your chin lightly tucked to your chest and slowly come on up to seated. So you can move your bolster off to the side. Come to sit up on a blanket. Just something to lift your hips up and have your blocks nearby you. So we're going to have one leg tucked in towards the pelvis, have a light flex of the foot. If the knee doesn't come down comfortably, you might just slide that bolster back, put it underneath for some support. Blocks are going to come in front of you. Move the belly a little bit to the middle. Start with the blocks close to you on the highest height. Lengthen your spine. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Then begin to fold forward. So you might hold right here. You're going to come forward as far as is good for you. Once you get there, then adjust the blocks. You might walk them forward, bring forearms to the blocks. You could dial down, reach the arms forward. You could bring hands to the mat. So just find what will support you, where is a good place for you to hold, and then let the head release down. Seeing what it's like here to apply some concentrated attention now in a seated pose. Coming back to your intention anytime you need it or want it. As you hold here, you might find the body giving you a little bit more space, in which case you could adjust the position of your blocks or your arms. They might come a little further away from you. You might dial them down. The Yin practice is working on our connective tissue, and that's why we hold for a longer time. and why we don't start at our full capacity. Let's take one more breath here. And keep your chin lightly tucked toward your chest. Slowly come on up. Now we're going to switch sides. So extend the leg that was bent. Bring the other leg in closer towards the pelvis. Again, you could bring bolster or some other support underneath that knee if it could use a little help there. Move the belly a bit to the middle. Take your blocks closer towards you. Light flex of the extended foot. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. Tuck your chin to your chest. Exhale, fold forward. So same as before, fold forward, then figure out where your props should be. Releasing the head down. As you hold, if you find any space in the body, you can adjust your support. Let's take one more breath here. And then slowly come on up. So as you come up, you can move that off to the side, extend the leg, move your blocks more towards the top of your mat. And then we're going to come from here up to standing. So if you have a blanket, you can move it out to the side. And you can press down through the blocks to come up if you'd like. We're going to start near the top of the mat. Feet are a couple inches away. Just rock a little bit forward and back. Find an even ground on the feet. Micro bend your knees. We're going to move into the flow portion of the practice. So inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. This is your check-in. If your belly feels compressed, up your feet a little wider. If you naturally have bend in the elbows, dial your blocks down. Press through your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, arms by the sides. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Press through the feet. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, arms by the sides. Okay, we're going to step back here. Grab one of your blocks. And set the feet wide. So I'm going to use this mat. You can always just turn wide on your mat. It's up to you. You're going to bring the block outside of your right foot. So turn your left toes in, turn your right leg and foot out. Turn your torso to face the long side of the mat. Inhale here, bend the front knee. Exhale, straighten. 2 more. If you're bending past your ankle, scoot your front foot a bit forward. Next time you're through that bent knee, hold it right there. Return your torso if it moved. Reach your arms out shoulder height. Turn your head, look over your front fingertips. Now back hand to the hip, front hand to the belly. Move that belly a little to the middle, fold over the knee. Rotate top shoulder up and back. If that's steady, reach your arm out alongside your ear. Now, top hand to the hip. You're going to bring your front hand to this block that's in front of your foot. Step your back foot in until you can come to stand up in your front leg. Now, if you're close to the wall like I am, you can let your hip be in contact with the wall. It just gives you a little bit of support. Turn the head down to look at the floor. You can always step that block a little more forward. You're going to start to come onto the tippy toe of the back foot, and then pick that foot up any amount. You can come up as high as the hip, but no higher. Flex that foot. And then bring that foot down and come up. Okay, let's step wide. Second side. Move your block in front of your foot. Back toes, turn in. Left leg and foot turns out 90. Torso faces long side. Inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, straighten. 2 more. Next time we're through that bent knee, hold it right there. Reach your arms out shoulder height. Turn the head, look over the front fingertips. Now back hand to the hip, front hand to the belly, move the belly a little to the middle, fold over the knee. Reach your top arm out alongside your ear. And return that hand to the hip. Take your front hand to the block. Step your back foot in until you can come to stand up in the front leg. When you've got that, turn the eyes to look down. Come onto that tippy toe of the back foot. And then start to pick that leg up. Flexing the foot. It can just come up an inch. You're not going to bring it up any higher than the hip. Then bring that foot down and stand up. So bring your blocks back to the top of your mat. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Now, bend your knees. You might like to move your blocks off the mat. We're going to bring the hands down. Step one foot back, other foot back for a down dog here. Keep the knees bent. Press your thighs back. You might like to pedal a little bit through the feet, bending one knee, straightening the other leg. Now bend the knees, step the feet a little wider, step the hands back as you walk the feet forward, meet in a forward bend. Come all the way up. Exhale, arms by the sides. So you can scoot your blocks back if you want, or you don't have to. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Now bring your hands to the floor. Walk back. Down dog. Pressing the thighs back. Now, bring the hips a little forward. Slowly bring one knee down, then the other knee. Come into a tabletop position. Inhale, lift sternum and tailbone. Come into cat-cow. Exhale, tuck chin to the chest. Round the back. Let's do 2 more. Then come back to tabletop, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, press the thighs back, down dog. And step the feet a little wider, begin to walk, feet and hands towards each other, fold forward, inhale, all the way up, exhale, arms by the sides, inhale, arms overhead, exhale, fold. You can always just bring hands to the shins, inhale, halfway up, exhale, fold, bring hands to the floor, step back. Down dog. Now slowly bring the knees to the ground. You might walk the hands a little more forward. Hug the elbows in. Lower yourself down. Have the hands underneath the shoulders here. Inhale. Lift the sternum. Come into a little back bend where it's so much from the back you could just lift your hands up for a moment. Then move anything that's in your way off to the side. Bring your left hand under your shoulder. Reach your right arm out. Micro bend your elbow. Begin to roll towards the right arm till you find a stretch across your right shoulder. Sometimes you reach the hand away as you do this. Side, if that's okay for you. Then come on back. Bring that right arm in, hand under the shoulder. Extend the left arm. Little bend in the elbow. Roll to the left. Any amount. Roll back. Hand comes under the shoulder. Press down, hug your elbows in. Come up to tabletop. Inhale, lift sternum and tailbone, arch the back. Exhale, chin to the chest, round the back. 2 more. Back to tabletop, tuck the toes, down dog. Now make your way to a forward bend, however you like. Then inhale all the way up. Exhale, arms by the sides. Okay, we're going to step wide again. Bring that block in front of your foot. Hands to the hips. We will turn left toes in, right leg and foot out. We're going to go ahead and bend that knee directly. If you're bending past the ankle, take a wider stance. Reach your arms out. Turn to look over your front fingertips. Then turn your palms to face the ceiling. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. 2 more. Return the palms down. Back hand to the hip. Front hand to the belly. Move it to the middle. Fold over that knee. Reach your arm out alongside your ear. Now top hand to the hip. Front hand to the block. Step your back foot in until you can stand up into the front leg. Move that block forward as needed. Flex the back foot, pick the leg up. So stay here as we did before, or if you start to feel steady, you can rotate your top shoulder and hip up. And if that's steady, reach the fingertips to the ceiling. Return hand to the hip, bring front foot down, pause here, come up. Second side. Step the feet wide again. Block comes in front of the foot. Back toes turn in, front leg and foot turns up. Go ahead and bend that front knee, taking a wider stance if needed. Reach your arms out. Turn the head. Now flip the palms. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, down. 2 more. After your second one, flip the palms, back hand to the hip. Fold over the knee. Top shoulder up and back. Extend the arm. Top hand to the hip. Front hand to the block. Step your back foot in. When you can stand up into that front leg, then start to pick the back toes up, flex the foot. If that's stable, you can rotate the top shoulder and hip up. That back heel might come to the wall. And if you want, reach fingertips to the ceiling. Then hand to the hip. Step that foot down, pause. Come on up. We're going to come back down to seated here. You might just sit up on a blanket. We're going to take the legs wide. So you have a couple choices here. We're going to take a wide-legged forward bend, stopping by one more yin pose before our relaxation. So if you know that you don't fold forward very far comfortably, having the bolster here is nice. You can bring the chin to the bolster, hug it, whatever feels good. Another option, bring your blocks in front of you. So you might like to just move the belly a little to the middle. Then we'll inhale, lengthen. Keep the feet lightly flexed, exhale, fold forward. As in our earlier forward bend, let the blocks support you, not the other way around. Keep your chin tucked towards your chest. Then let your head release. See what it feels like to come back to a longer hold. This might be a great time to revisit your intention or bring your attention back to your breath. Again, noticing if your body has a desire to shift and following that. So you can move the blocks down or away from you or both. Move the bolster away from you if you're using that. Just noticing any inner conversation that comes up in these long holds and letting that be an opportunity not for self-criticism, but for just bringing yourself back to awareness. This is really the practice. It's not never having your attention wander. It's simply noticing whenever it does and bringing yourself back. Let's take 5 more deep breaths here. After your 5th exhale, whenever that comes, lightly tuck the chin toward the chest and then slowly come up. Last. So you can set your blocks off to the side. Bring your legs back together. You might give them a little wobble here. And then come to lay down on your back again. So as at the beginning, I stay seated just so you can hear me a little bit better. So as you start, rock the knees a little side to side. Maybe do that tuck of the tailbone we talked about earlier. And taking a moment here before you fully set up for your relaxation to continue this conversation you've been having with your body and see what movements, if any, your body wants before your relaxation. So if you want to reach arms overhead as you extend the legs, getting a nice full body stretch, or making any other movements, this is that time to do that. You're welcome to continue that, but whenever you are ready, you can start to make your way fully into that position for relaxation. You could slide a bolster or its equivalent underneath the knees. You could be in another position entirely. So if this isn't comfortable, you can do any other restorative position that you like. As you settle into whatever that position is for you, let's again turn attention to the back body, wherever you're in contact with the floor, mat, props. See if over your next few exhales, you can let anything go to let yourself be even more supported. To let yourself receive more support here. Could be a letting go in the hips, the jaw, maybe something your mind has been working on in the background. Maybe even audibly sighing out that exhale. And moving the attention a little bit, sensing outward into where you are in the room. Sensing inward through the whole body. Maybe following the thread of the breath down into the lungs. Then bringing those two together again, that sense of wholeness through the inside of the body as a connected part of the room around you. Just holding that for a moment. And then letting the attention turn back inside, moving your attention to your feet here, making any shifts or adjustments. Then letting the feet still, Continuing that process, moving up the whole body as you settle yourself in. Whenever you complete that process, taking one more breath, expanding awareness through your whole body. With an exhale, letting yourself rest in here for a few minutes of relaxation. Let's take 5 more deep breaths here. Just taking your time. After your 5th exhale, whenever that comes, take a moment to notice how you feel. If you had set an intention earlier, you might bring your awareness back to that for a moment. Maybe considering how you can bring that with you from this practice. As you're ready, starting to invite some movement back into your body, maybe starting with wiggling fingers and toes. And then letting your body guide you into whatever other movements would feel good for you here. As you are ready, if you like to, rolling to your side first, taking a couple breaths. And then gently bringing yourself up to seated, coming into any comfortable seated position. If you'd like, you can join me in folding your hands together in front of your heart. We'll inhale here and exhale. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.